Meeting is to conduct the business of the Gettysburg Area School District. Public comment is welcome, and issues will be referred to the appropriate board, committee, or administrator. Comments will be summarized in the official board minutes, which will be available by contacting the business office. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones or any other electronic devices. Ms. Collins, all board members are here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Real quickly, before notices and communications, a reminder to the board members, because we are live streaming, if you could identify yourself throughout the meeting so that the folks back home know exactly who's asking a question or who's talking. In addition, the board will hold a short, brief executive session related to personnel immediately following the meeting. Notices and communications. Hearing nothing. Citizens' participation. I'm being told that by our communications director, we did not receive any emails that anyone wanted to wish to read. However, the board did receive an email probably an hour before from Mr. Ian Miller in reference to VLN issues and system performance. I'm not sure if all the board members had a chance to look at that. So that can be addressed. I believe, Jason, will you be addressing those issues? I know somebody from the district is, I believe, Brandy.
Yeah, Brandy. You looking into that?
Is there anything that, have you had an opportunity to read the email? Okay.
We will then.
All right, thank you. Routine approvals, 5.1 through 5.10. May I have a motion?
I move to accept the approvals. This is Carrie Soliday.
I second Kathleen Pratt.
Question? Hearing no question, roll call. Al?
Yes.
Timon?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Sylvan?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Amy Beth?
Yes.
And I vote yes. You'll notice on your agenda sheet under number 6, items for board action, there are none listed. So we'll move to the informational items. 7.1.
Sure. The 7.1 and 7.2 are policies that are generally in place in districts related to political activities, those types of things. So 321 is political activities, 7.1 is outside activities. Those are usually found in unison in districts. So we took a look at those this August and had a conversation with Mike, and we put that on the agenda early in September. So this is a first read for those two, and then there's a first read for 824. Some of the laws have changed with regards to Title IX, so almost all of our policies that reference Title IX in any way will be coming to the board for reapproval over the next couple of months or so, and this is just the first one. So those are the 3 first reads.
I have a 7.1 through 7.3, correct? So 7 for the high school HVAC and major mechanical update.
Dr. Perrin, this is Kathleen Pratt. I have a couple questions about, here, if this is helpful. I have a couple of questions about 321 political activities, just so I have a good feel on the direction we're heading here. I'm not opposed to having this type of a policy, but I want to have a good feel about kind of how far it goes. So under purpose, there's language that says, may not be used for political purposes or activism by district employees. So how far do we go if there is, let's say, a teacher who's got a presidential candidate's bumper sticker on his or her car, is that car allowed to be parked in the parking lot? I mean, like, where do we draw the line here?
Yes, generally within the building, where instruction would occur. We wouldn't be taking it outside generally taking it outside the facility. Most of the way that those two policies are written, 321 and 319, those are pretty specifically, I wouldn't call them like necessarily boilerplate, but pretty common. I've had those policies in place in districts that I've been in the past, and they tend to only come up during presidential elections every 4 years. And so the last one was before I came here. So I just happened to, being that it was a presidential election year in August, I was looking for them to see if they were in place and what they said. And since the district didn't have them, that's why we approached it.
All right, thank you.
Did you have anything additional, Kathleen?
No, thank you.
Okay. Jason, do you have anything you want to add for the board on 7.4, the HVAC, or Wayne?
Wayne will come up and speak to that.
Thank you, Wayne.
Good evening, members of the board. Wayne Crosby, Director of Facilities. I was basically going to run down and kind of give an update, very similar to what's in the board agenda item. We've got 7 activities that are currently taking place and are going to take place in the near future related to the HVAC renovation project at the high school. We publicly advertised the project and requested interested contractors to submit a pre-qualification package, and we're going to do that from September the 18th through October the 8th. Second activity, the qualification packages and references will be reviewed by the design team committee. We're going to do that from October the 9th through October 16th. On October the 19th, bid packages and drawings will be sent to the pre-qualified bidders. On November 5th at 1 p.m., we're going to have a pre-bid meeting at the site at the high school. On November the 19th at 3:30, we will receive and open the sealed bids at the administration building. On December the 17th, we plan to review the bid tab at the Finance and Facility Committee meeting. And on December the 21st, present the bid tabulation and a recommendation to award to the full board at the board meeting. So it's moving along. We're on schedule.
I'm assuming, Wayne, this project, when do you anticipate that starting? And the only reason I ask you, how much of an impact would it have if we were looking at a starting date within our school calendar year?
We can do some of the work, some of the pre-work when the building's still occupied, but I would expect to have a June 1 full start date when we didn't have necessarily have the kids in the building to start moving things out and roll forward there. So pretty much what we've done in the past at the end of the May, last day of school. So we don't have a hard date yet because obviously the calendar's not set and it may change with the situation we're dealing with now.
And one last thing, I apologize. What do you anticipate the duration of the project from start to finish?
It's going to be a full 2-year project.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm believing while you're here, you're still addressing 7.5. 7.4 and 7.5 are essentially all dealing with the
Essentially,
HVAC
it's the same
system.
thing. I know Mr. McQuaid's got an opportunity to jump in if he'd like to, but it's essentially the same thing. What we're doing is we're pre-qualifying the bidders. It's the same pre-qualification form. It's a standard AIA form that in some arenas, folks would have the contractor submit that with their bid package. But because this is such a large project, a lot of institutions that do a lot of large projects will do it ahead of time. And that's what we're proposing, and that's actually, we're in the process of doing that now. So what that does is, when we receive the bids, we know that we're getting bids from qualified contractors.
Does the board have any other questions for Wayne? Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you.
Okay, board committee reports.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you. So the administration brought forth policies 319, 321, and 824 to the committee for a first read. And our next our next policy meeting will be Tuesday, October 13th.
Mr. President?
Yes, Carrie.
This is Carrie. The Adams County Technical Institute will meet Wednesday evening at 5:30. It's anticipated to be a short meeting, so it will be held virtually. And Finance and Facilities Committee will start meeting in October to establish the budget calendar and get those processes rolling so everyone's informed throughout the entire budget process.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments on the committee reports? Hearing none, building and program reports?
Yeah, it's been a busy week. Certainly, we attempt to trying to keep the buildings open the best we can, and somewhat fluid, and we'll react to situations as they occur. So, sent out 2 communications at this point. James Geddes is currently fully virtual, and we'll go back to in-person learning Monday the 28th. And the high school will resume with in-person learning on Wednesday of this week, the 23rd, I believe that is. So, for folks at home, there's not really a boilerplate for those decisions. Each situation is rather unique as we're working through that with the Department of Health, and there are a lot of factors that go into that. We do take their recommendations seriously, and our decisions seriously. And the goal, obviously, is that if we do that, then we'll be able to remain open, and that's what we'll continue to do. So, thanks.
Any questions? Hearing none, calendar or board events. Our next board meeting will be held October 5th, 2020. Again, I remind everybody, 7 p.m. and until further notice, at least through December 7th. Unless something changes with the regulations that the state has imposed, we will be meeting at the Gettysburg Middle School. May I have a motion for adjournment, please?
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.